What are the chances that Thor would end up on the windshield of your spacecraft?
What are the chances?
I mean,
Isn't that great? When I first read that, I laughed hysterically, and when we shot it, it's just so so ridiculous. And actually, we had a lot of fun with that whole scene. It was kind of the first interaction between Guardians and then Thor, obviously. But it was there's just so many jokes to be made there with with how handsome and perfect Chris Hemsworth is, and how insecure Star-Lord is. So yeah, a lot of good fun, a lot of good humor. Yeah.
So you team up with the Avengers, and you got a whole new team out there that you're with. Is there anyone in particular that you really are excited to meet?
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr.'s been on a pedestal with me since I was a very young man. I've just always admired him, been a fan. And I've said for years and years and years that I hope the crossover happened, because I thought that Drax would have such great interaction with Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. And it just all kind of came to fruition, and actually it's going to happen. and it's good. It's really good. It's better than I thought it would ever be.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really excited about it.
Was there on screen? Can't speak English. Was there chemistry between you?
Immediately. And here's the thing is that, I went to the premiere in London of Avengers 2, and Robert went out of his way to come and meet me and say how much he loved me in the first film, and that meant the world to me. So it put me at kind of an automatic comfort level with him. So as soon as we hit the stage, man, it was just kind of, there's no pressure there. I didn't feel, there was no walls. I felt like this guy was very supportive of me, and I felt comfortable with him. And I think that's just him. He's a very giving actor, kind of across the board. But as for me personally, I just felt totally at ease with him, and it makes for good chemistry when you're comfortable with someone. My biggest pleasant surprise was working with the Russo brothers, because I was familiar with their films, but I wasn't familiar with how they did things on set, how they directed films. And my big concern crossing over was that someone was going to try to take James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy and turn them into their version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And it worried me a little bit, because I had already done 2 Guardians films, and I knew Drax. I was comfortable with Drax. I knew who he was, and I didn't want to take him in a weird direction that I didn't think was good for the character. But it wasn't that at all. They were actually very, they kind of just let us do our thing, man. They gave us free rein to be the Guardians that we know and love, and also gave us the luxury of having James Gunn write for us a little bit. But I was just amazed at how supportive they were on letting us just be our characters. I mean, they were like, just go for it. And we started, we're really big on improvising stuff, what the Guardians are. And we started doing it business as usual, and they just really got behind it. They said, what was that you said? And they loved it. And so they had someone write it down. Yeah, say that again. And so that's what I mean, because that's something I honestly just wasn't expecting, for someone to be just so giving and just let us just be ourselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
A really good experience.
Yeah, very good. And I just like them as people. They're just a lot of fun to work with. Not only that, but it's really interesting to see how the 2 brothers interact with one another, and how, because usually, one of the brothers, Joe, will see something some way, and Anthony will see something that can make it just a little bit different. When they kind of get together and meet in the middle, it's just kind of magic, and they're just really, they have chemistry. They have that magical brotherly chemistry that comes across, it translates onto film. And it makes things very good. To me, like Captain America Civil War, by far my favorite Captain America. And so I kind of got like a little touch of what they're capable of, and as directors, and I got to experience it on Avengers. They're just amazing.